You're being hidden in plain sight. I recently had to relocate to another dwelling. The home that I was in was being sold and we had to leave. Before doing so, I went to various locations and prayed about it. And I said, wherever you want me to be, then I will be there. Well, in record time, my application went through, and I was sent to an area. I'm not used to living in the city. I'm a suburban girl. So my first place was in a more affluent area of the city, but this was a step down. The conditions were favorable. However, I didn't really understand what I was going into. When I got to the new home, the new apartment, the new townhouse, there's a lot going on around me. A lot of disturbances, a lot of noise, a lot of loud, boisterous behavior, be it by music, cranking when people are coming home, be it by people arguing loudly outside, you know what I mean. So basically, I was driven to an existence of where people are in bondage, where people are not awake, no one even cares. But as things were coming about and upsetting my spirit, Holy Spirit was showing me. She was showing me that I needed to overcome those things with prayer. Take, for instance, the next door neighbor's son. Single mother, 3 children. She just let them ramp and rave through the house. And the little boy was just bouncing the ball constantly. Well, I was having a hard time finding peace and studying and just living in peace. And so I didn't get upset. I just began to pray. I prayed. This is disrupting. I prayed. I constantly prayed. Next thing I knew, the moving van came up and they moved. There's another neighbor on the other side of me. Comes in the wee hours of the morning from work. And he has to blast his music out of his car, which is disrupting. I don't understand why people need to blast their music, especially at 7 a.m. Every time it woke me up, I had to go into prayer. So the conditions that I am in is not conducive to my peace. But I have to learn how to rise above it and go into prayer against it. Next thing I knew, there was a letter on our mailboxes stating that we need to keep our environment so that other people will enjoy it. No loud music, no fixing your cars out front. You know what happens in some neighborhoods. So I had to realize that oftentimes we may be in places that we don't know how we got there. We don't want to be there. Some of us may be driven to homelessness. We may be driven to conditions of living with somebody else. But I was talking to a sister recently, and we came to the understanding that you are hidden in plain sight. Who else in the scriptures were hidden in plain sight? Yahusha. Angels called and spoke to Joseph and Mary and told them to go to Egypt. Why Egypt? Because Yahusha looked like them in Egypt. They were able to hide in plain sight without being noticed. So no one would bother them if they're noticed. But when they were on the outside of Egypt, when they were on their own, you could be spotted easily. Joseph, same thing happened to Joseph. Joseph had a mission, just like Yahusha. Joseph had to save his brothers, save his people from famine. So Joseph was sent to unfavorable conditions to be hidden in plain sight. And during that time, Joseph came from the pit to the palace. Many of us are in a pit existence right now. We don't understand, but the main thing we have to remember is that you are being hidden in plain sight until it's time for you to be revealed. You see, Yahusha had to be hidden until it was time for his ministry to be revealed. Moses, another anointed one, was sent to Egypt. Egypt could mean bondage, but Egypt was an avenue of change. And Moses rose up to the point that when it was time for his ministry to come forth, that's when he had to separate himself. So oftentimes we're not in a wilderness experience because it's to punish us. Sometimes we just have to be hidden in plain sight until it's time. So many of you are in the wilderness. We are in Egypt, but Egypt is not in us. So we need to rise up from these ashes of Egypt when it's time. So be encouraged, be patient, but you're hidden in plain sight. Y'all take care. Be blessed.